A question arose in my spirit: how many days were the Israelites supposed to spend before reaching the land of Canaan? I quickly picked up my Bible to find an answer. Examining the story of the children of Israel, we find an 11-day journey that turned into a 40-year Odyssey. The journey from Mount Sinai to the promised land of Canaan was meant to be an 11-day expedition, Deuteronomy chapter 1-2. Yet, the children of Israel spent a daunting 40 years wandering in the wilderness. Why? It wasn't due to losing their way, harsh terrain, or the journey's length. This prolonged voyage resulted from disobedience, unbelief, and a lack of faith in God's promises. In Numbers 13, Moses dispatched 12 spies to scout the land of Canaan. They returned with a mixed report. While they confirmed the land was indeed flowing with milk and honey, 10 of the spies fixated on the formidable inhabitants, their fortified cities, and the giants they encountered. Their report sowed fear and unbelief among the people. Only Joshua and Caleb clung to faith in God's promise. They declared, "If the Lord delights in us, He will bring us into this land and give it to us." Numbers 14:8. Regrettably, the people did not heed their words. The Israelites chose to embrace the report of the 10 fearful spies, allowing fear and unbelief to overshadow God's promise. Consequently, God decreed that this generation would not enter His promised land. Instead, they would roam the wilderness for 40 years until that generation perished, making way for a new, faithful generation to rise. Numbers 14:22-23. What lessons can we draw from this? Disobedience and a lack of faith in God create strongholds that can impede or delay the fulfillment of God's promises in our lives. These factors prevent us from entering His promises and leave us wandering in the wilderness of unanswered prayers. Despite witnessing the miracles God performed in Egypt, witnessing the parting of the Red Sea, and enjoying the manna from heaven, the Israelites chose not to trust in God's promise. Their disobedience came at a great cost. The Israelites' decision to let fear overshadow their faith had repercussions not only for them but also for future generations. Nevertheless, God remained faithful despite their unbelief and disobedience. He did not forsake them in the wilderness. He continued to provide for them, eventually allowing their children to enter the promised land. At times, God may be near, but we may not experience the manifestations of His promises in our lives due to disobedience, fear, and a lack of faith. Consequently, we find ourselves wandering in the wilderness of frustration and depression because our expectations are not met. Are we on an 11-day journey or a 40-year pilgrimage in our spiritual lives? Are we holding on to God's promises, or are we permitting fear and doubt to divert us from receiving His promises? Are we obeying God, or are we stubborn and rebellious, resembling the Israelites? Let us strive to emulate Joshua and Caleb, holding on to faith even when circumstances appear daunting. Let us remember that God's promises are firm and reliable. 2 Corinthians chapter 1:20. May we grasp firmly to our hope without wavering, for He who made the promise is faithful. Hebrews chapter 10:23. In our own lives, we may encounter situations where our 11-day journey appears to have stretched into a 40-year expedition. It could be a season of waiting for a breakthrough, a period of testing and trials, or a time when our faith is refined in the fire. Firstly, we must learn from their mistakes. Secondly, we must recognize the consequences of our actions. Lastly, we must hold on to the patience and faithfulness of God. Dear brothers and sisters, let us not permit an 11-day journey to devolve into a 40-year odyssey of wandering in the wilderness. Instead, let us opt for faith over fear, obedience over rebellion, and trust over doubt. God has a promised land for each one of us, a realm of abundance, fulfillment, and purpose.
If you are blessed by this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at TSPD_official. Remain till Jesus comes. God bless you. Shalom.